Alright, so this is going to be like part 2 of my E3's video series. Last video was what I thought about Microsoft's, and now this video is going to be based on Sony. You can view the Sony keynote itself and my previous video by clicking the link over there. I'll put both links there. So, yeah, like I said, this is going to be my Sony one, and there's a lot to talk about here, and I only have 10 minutes, so I'm just going to go ahead and get right to it. Alright, so I'm going to organize this into sections, not really how they introduced them in the keynote. I'm going to talk about the PS2 first, PSP second, and PS3 third. So really quick for PS2, it's been $99 for like a month, maybe a little bit longer, a little less, I'm not sure. But they reiterated it at the convention that it was $99, which is a great price for a PS2. I mean, it has like 2,000 games, they said, and it's just like one of the most successful consoles. I mean, everyone I know has a PS2. So that's pretty cool now that it's that much cheaper, that it's $99. But he also said something in the keynote. Today's PS2 users are tomorrow's PS3 users. I wouldn't really say that. I mean, now that the PS3 is picking up steam, that maybe that's more realistic. But I mean, still, you need to have some good games and some good content to make people upgrade. And without, like, the PS3 is only the 60 gigabyte version can play PS2 games. So that's right there is kind of a sketchy, like, reason, or kind of like a reason to stay at a PS2 and not go to PS3 until there's better games and stuff. But yeah, I guess that's all they really said about the PS2. So now moving on to the PSP, as he said, Trenton said, I think that's his name. He said that the PSP Go was the worst kept secret of E3, which is very true. I mean, you could just Google PSP and that's what would come up. So, but now it's actually official. It's been released. Well, not released, but it's been discussed to the public. PSP Go, it's meant for a digital lifestyle. It's like a flip. It's almost like my phone here, like flips up. It's kind of like that. It doesn't support UMD, which is kind of sketchy. I mean, UMDs aren't amazing, but you know that's like the PSP format. But they said that the UMDs will be able, like all UMDs from now on, will be able to download as well, which I think would be kind of a pain. And the PSP Go only has 16 gigs of built-in flash. So I mean, if you think about it, I mean, that's not really that many PSP games. I bet they'd probably be like 500 megabytes each. Plus, you have your music and your videos and stuff. I mean, I don't know. They probably could have put 32 in there. It would have been safer. Probably would have cost a little more, but I think it'd be worth it. But I think it does have like a SD card slot, or probably not an SD, probably a Duo slot. So that's cool. You can put memory sticks in there and stuff. But they made it very clear at the E3 that they're still going to sell the PSP 3000 and they're still going to sell UMDs. So that's cool because, like you said at the conference, most people want like a physical copy of what they buy. So that's definitely good that they're keeping UMD around. This PSP is supposed to be 50% lighter and 40% smaller than the first generation PSP, not the PSP Slim or the 3000, the first one. So I mean that's pretty cool. I mean half the weight. That's pretty impressive. But mostly probably because it doesn't have the UMD drive in it, and that's probably what takes up the big bulk. Moving on, it's also going to have Bluetooth, which has a lot of potential. I mean, you could hook up Bluetooth headsets. Maybe you can even hook it up to the Bluetooth in the PS3 and have file transfers. That opens up a lot of doors. I think that's really cool. They included Bluetooth. Even now, I mean, like, they have Skype on the PSP. I'm pretty sure they have it on the PSP Go, too. I don't know why they wouldn't. So you could use that as, like, a wireless headset. So that'd be pretty cool. And now moving on to games for the PSP Go, they announced Gran Turismo, which was like, that's half the reason to buy it right there. Like a full-fledged 60 frame per second Gran Turismo. That's just awesome. I would definitely, if I had a PSP, that's like the game I'd be looking forward to right now. And they also announced Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker. I'm not really sure what that's all about, but you know it's cool that the franchise is coming to PSP as well. They've had Metal Gear Acid, they've had Metal Gear Portable Ops. Portable Ops was a fantastic game, I loved it. But this game's probably going to be more in depth and stuff, so that's pretty cool. And they also announced Little Big Planet for PSP, which is very cool. I just rented it for PS3. My PS3's up there. And it's a very cool game. I mean, it's kind of kiddish. It looks like it'd be for a 5-year-old. But it's also very innovative. It's just a great game. And they're also going to have MotorStorm Arctic Edge for PSP, which is pretty cool. I mean, MotorStorm, that's like the game that the PS3 had on display when it came out. I wasn't crazy for it. I mean, it was really hard to control it sometimes, but it should be pretty cool, I guess. And now the launch date for the PSP Go is October 1st, and it's going to be $250, the same price that the PSP was when it came out. So, I don't know. I might look into buying one, maybe like a used one or something, just to have around maybe. I don't know, we'll see. But now moving on to the PS3. This is mostly just games. They did announce that they have like, I don't know, a bunch of like registered accounts now. So I mean, that's pretty cool. I mean, people are finally jumping on the PS3 a little bit. It's starting to get some good news finally. So anyway, but moving on to games, they have Uncharted 2, and the multiplayer beta started the day of the conference, which was last Tuesday, I think. Yeah, Microsoft went Monday, and then Sony went Tuesday. So it's been around for almost a week now, which is pretty cool. I haven't done anything with it. Massive Action Game. This game looks very cool. Like, it's 256 people online just battling it out. It looks very much like a PC game. Like, when I first saw it, like, if I was just to take a glance at my monitor while I was like walking by somewhere, I would have thought it was a PC game. I mean, the graphics are cool. It plays just like a PC game, like a really wide open PC game. I mean, it looks pretty cool. I can't lie. I think they said that they talked about it a little bit at last year's E3, but now it's got a lot more work put into it and stuff. So, I mean, that game looks pretty cool. They also briefly, like very briefly, talked about Agent. This game's going to be made by Rockstar, and like I said, they didn't say much about it, but pretty much any game made by Rockstar is just awesome. Grand Theft Auto, Midnight Club, like all those games are just fantastic, so I'm pretty excited for that game. Assassin's Creed 2. I have Assassin's Creed 1. I haven't played it all that much, but they actually went pretty in depth with Assassin's Creed 2. They had some gameplay videos and stuff, like the flying machine they had, like, and just the graphics and everything. It was just it looks really cool. I really want to look into getting that when it comes out, but I need to play Assassin's Creed 1 first. Final Fantasy 13. They announced this for the 362, which made a lot of 360 people very happy. And then right after that, they did something with Final Fantasy 14. I was like, wait a minute. I said, Final Fantasy 13 isn't even out yet. You're talking about 14. I was kind of like, what? But then it had that little online tag at the end, and then it's just kind of a. It was kind of like, oh, I see. It's kind of like that. So now, another thing that really impressed me was Mod Nation Racers. That game looks fantastic. I am definitely going to be buying that game. Just like the tool set they used to make their custom tracks was fantastic. Like, I was so impressed by that. That was just awesome. And Sony, they announced the motion sensing. That was also very cool. I mean, it's not probably as impressive as Project Natal for 360. However, I do think it'll be a little more, like, hardcore gamer friendly, I guess you would say. I mean, like in the E3 keynote, he actually, like, he had two in a hand, and he was shooting the arrow. He like went back like that, and it loaded the arrow for him. He like threw ninja stars with it and stuff. I mean, it's just really cool that you can do a game like that with a first-person shooter. Like, it's just really cool, I think. And the controller they used was a prototype, so it had like that weird like purple ball on the end. It's obviously not going to look like that when it's finished. If it did, that'd be kind of weird. But yeah, it looks very cool. I'm definitely like I want a PlayStation Eye now when that comes out. That game, or not that game, that feature, I guess. It just looks very cool. Like I said, not as impressive, like technologically impressive as Project Natal, but however, I think it'll be more usable for games than Project Natal will be. And they also very briefly kind of introduced Gran Turismo 5. That's a game I've been waiting for forever. I played Prologue, but it's kind of just like a bigger sized demo. I was kind of mad about that. They really need to get Gran Turismo out because I really want to play it. And they also had NASCAR in Gran Turismo. I was kind of like, why? I'm not a fan of NASCAR, but it's there. You probably don't have to use it if you don't want to. And then they closed the keynote with God of War 3. This game looks fantastic. I've played the first one a little bit. I haven't played the second one. I need to get on that. I also played the PSP game, and that was very fun, actually. That was very fun. So that's how they ended it with God of War 3. This video is almost 10 minutes already, so those were just the main points. Overall, I think Sony did probably almost as good as Microsoft. I think Microsoft did do better in terms of having new stuff released, but I think that Sony's features are very good. Their games are very good. There's a lot of exclusives here, a lot of new features, so PS3 2009 is going to be a great year. Alright, so like I said, I'm going to have the links over there. I don't know if it's not over there. And Twitter, twitter.com/CPUKid. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.